Namaskaram girls. So we are moving to the third lesson. How you comes to know that society girls, how they have lived, like that how we comes to know, that only we are going to know in this lesson detailing. So how we comes to know traders, sailors, merchants, the foreigners who comes to our Tamil region. From that we comes to know how they have come to the Tamil region and what they have done. That and all how can we know girls? Through the sources. The sources is divided into 4. First one, classical Tamil literature. Second one, epigraphy. Third one, archaeological excavation. Fourth one, non-Tamil and foreign literature. So from these sources we comes to know that how the people lived in the society. So again I will recall classical Tamil literature, epigraphy, archaeological excavations, non-Tamil and foreign literature. Okay guys, these are the sources we come to know about the Tamil society. So when you come for the classical Tamil literature, Tolkappiyam. Just I am saying the introduction only girls, then we will go detailing inside. So Tolkappiyam, it says about the grammar of the Tamil. And there is a Padinan Mel Kanaka, major works, Padinan Keel Kanaka, minor works. The Mel Kanaka is divided as a Patupata and Ettu Togai. Padinan Keel Kanaka consists of the 5 epics, major epics. Okay girls, this is the first sources of the history of Tamil culture. Second one, epigraphy. In this epigraphy, this is says about the inscriptions. Inscription, this word you have used in the 6th standard. Correct girls? So when you come for the epigraphy, Tamil Brahmi inscriptions, hero stones, inscription on pottery. So in the inscriptions again is classified into 3. Tamil Brahmi inscriptions, hero stones, inscription on pottery. When you come for archaeological, there is a material culture and coins. From that we know about the archaeological excavation. Even now when you watch the news, you might have heard of the Kiladi. Correct girls? And the last one is Tamil, non-Tamil and foreign literature. So we don't have the Tamil literature. Tamil literature only Tolkappiyam, Padinan Mel Kanaka, Padinan Keel Kanaka. Correct? These are the foreign literature which was written by the other people, other country also. Arthasastra, Mahavamsa, Periplus of Erythraean Sea, Pliny's natural history, Ptolemy's geography, Pythagorean table, Vienna papyrus. Girls, papyrus, have you remembered that word girls? Papyrus, it's a paper made from the papyrus tree. So Vienna papyrus. So these are the non-Tamil and foreign literature. This is the introduction only girls. Each and everything we will see individually. So the first source we will see that classical Tamil literature. Classical Tamil literature from in this one Tolkappiyam we can know about the grammar part of the Tamil. Apart from grammar, they can how the rules of grammar, elaborating the rules of grammar, and also describe about the poetic conventions, many information of the society we can comes to know. The text of 11 மேல் கணக்கு, that is 10 பாட்டு and 8 தொகை. So 10 பாட்டு and 8 தொகை. This is a Tamil text. The first we will see the 8 தொகை, நற்றிணை, குறுந்தொகை, பரிபாடல், பதிற்று பத்து, ஐங்குறுநூறு, கலித்தொகை, அகநானூறு, புறநானூறு. I will repeat again. 8 தொகை consist of நற்றிணை, குறுந்தொகை, பரிபாடல், பதிற்று பத்து, ஐங்குறுநூறு, கலித்தொகை, அகநானூறு and புறநானூறு. And 10 பாட்டு திருமுருகாற்றுப்படை, பொருமராற்றுப்படை, பெரும்பானாற்றுப்படை, சிறுபானாற்றுப்படை, முல்லைப்பாட்டு, நெடுநல் வாடை, மதுரை காஞ்சி, குறிஞ்சிப்பாட்டு, பட்டினப்பாலை, மலைப்படு கடுகம். I will repeat again. 10 பாட்டு திருமுருகாற்றுப்படை, பொருமராற்றுப்படை, பெருமனாற்றுப்படை, சிறுமனாற்றுப்படை, முல்லைப்பாட்டு, நெடுநல்வாடை, மதுரை காஞ்சி, குறிஞ்சிப்பாட்டு, பட்டினப்பாலை, மலைப்படுகடகம். These are the 10 ideals. So when you come for, these all comes under the 11 மேல் கணக்கு, major works. When you come for 11 கீழ் கணக்கு, there were 18 texts which says of the moral and ethics. Tirukkural comes under this, which was written by the Thiruvalluvar. There was 1330 was there. This is a morality, love and statecraft. Tirukkural says all these one. Apart from the 5 epics, Silappadigaram, Manimekalai, Sivagasintamani, Valayapadi, Kundalakesi. These are 5 epics which comes under the 11 கீழ் கணக்கு. When you come for epigraphy, it's a study of inscriptions. Study of inscriptions, that is the scripts written on the stones, plates, coins, rings, etc. So again I will say epigraphy, the study of inscriptions, that is whatever they have written. It's a document scripted on the stones, copper plates and other coins, rings, etc. So how they have developed in the historical period, that only we are going to see. First we will see a Tamil Brahmi inscription. There are 30 sites regarding the Tamil Brahmi inscription we can see in our Tamil Nadu. Maximum this is a, how we can say, means it can be cave or rocks. So these two types only we can see in the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. Caves means gugai. Shelters, that is rocks, means rock shelters. Under the rocks or on the rocks, we can see all these. Maximum here monks will stay here, particularly Jain monks. They themselves converted these caves as their shelter for them, like dripping line. So these inscriptions we can see under the drip lines. How the site will be, it will be smooth stone beds, carved. Carved means cutting on the rock surface. In that one they will live, the monks will live. Merchants and kings, this converted the natural formation for the, they themselves, Rajas, kings, made the rocks as a residence for the monk. ஓகே, துறவிகள் வாழ்றதுக்காக மன்னரால செதுக்கப்பட்டு ராக்ஸ்ல இருக்கும். ஓகே, these are the one. And the places Mangulam, Muttupatti, Pugalur, Arachalur, Kongaripulian Kulam. Kongaripulian Kulam. I'll repeat again. Mangulam, Muttupatti, Pugalur, Arachalur, Kongaripuliam Kulam. So these and Jambal are the sites we can see the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. In Madurai also such we can see the caves for the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. Okay, so maximum this inscriptions we can see for the local and tourism also. Some places have considered as a tourism, some places it considered as for the local people to stay there. Okay, and when you come for hero stones, these hero stones are the memorable for erecting who lost their lives in the battles. So avangaloda ஞாபகார்த்தமா வைக்கிறது. Maximum we can see these hero stones in the place of Mullai landscape. You might have studied the landscape, Kurunji, Mullai, Neidal, Palai. I think you have studied in the 5th standard. So there were how they have the wealth, rattle, raiding cattle, tribes, cities, whatever may be. So in the society they are there. Maximum pastoral way of life, tribal people, and how they have protect their cattle from the enemies. Warriors, those who are warriors. Warriors means soldiers who has died in the battles and remembered as a martyrs. Memorable stones were erected in their honor in the Sangam literature. Clashes, whatever. Sometimes it considered as a worship place. All these described in the Tolkappiyam. Hero stones of the Sangam age with the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions we can found in the Puliman Kombu and Tatapatti, which is in the Theni district, and Purupane Kotai, which is in the Pulkotai districts. These are the Sangam sculptures we can see in this one. Puliyam Kombai hero stones, which is in the Vaigai River Valley in the Theni districts. In 2006, rare hero stones inscriptions in Tamil script, Brahmi script were discovered in this village. That we can see in your book, girls. This is a Puliyangombu hero stones. Okay, this they have mentioned in the Sangam age and they have mentioned in the Pallava period also. Next we will go for the inscriptions on pottery. So inscriptions on pottery, which was mentions about the Tamil Brahmi cultures. We can see in Arkimedu, Alangulam, Kudumanal, Keeladi and many other places. So the pottery was described in the Tamil Brahmi script, which was found in a Bernaik, which is in Egypt and in Oman. All says about the West Asia trade with the Red Sea coast. So it is used in the Prakrit language. This is used in common people in northern part of India during the Mauryan period. When you come for archaeological sites, this excavation is a systematic one, evidence for exploring, interpreting society. Archaeological excavation at the early histories, it's a sources of evidence. The same place, Archimedu, Alangulam, Kodumanal, along with that Kanjipuram, Kaveri Pumbatinam, Korkai, Kiladi, Kodumanal, these are places we can see in Tamil Nadu, and Pattanam in Kerala. Archimedu, I said no girls. This is in Puducherry. This is a Sangam Age port. This is a surveying of India. British Robert Eric. Many other scholars also has consult with the archaeological department along with the India. The survey of India is a central government agency. This is the government of Tamil Nadu has its own department of archaeology called Tamil Nadu State Department of Archaeological, which is constructed in the 1878 and 1972. Many monuments, archaeological sites in 1958. This is a preservation for archaeological. When you come for material culture, it shows in the evidence of brick structures and industries, artifacts, beads, bangles, many materials they have shown. This inscription on pottery coins also been unearthed. So this is a material culture. When you come for the camion, this is an ornament which is made of a precious stone. Intaglio, this is an ornament which is carved as a recess below the surface. When you come for coins, it's a medium of exchange which is introduced in the first time in the Sangam age. The coins of the Steras, Cholas, Pandyas have a punch marked. Their symbols have marked in the coins which was used in the Roman coins. That also they have evidence for the Sangam period. The punch marked coins we can see Kodumanal and Bodinayakkanur. Roman coins particularly in Coimbatore, Karur, Madurai. This is one of the coins. When you come for non-Tamil sources, Arthasastra, this non-Tamil literary sources which was the information which was given by the outsiders. First one, Arthasastra, which was written by the Kautilya during the Mauryan period, which refers to a Pandya Kavataka, pearl shells, how the Pandyan countries have used. Next, Mahavamsa, he was a Sri Lankan Buddhist. He has written in the Pali language how the horse traders developed in Tamil Nadu and South India. Chronicle, it's a narrative text. Historical events in the chronological order. Descending order, ascending order சொல்லுவாங்க. Historyல என்னென்ன நடந்தது அப்படியே வரிசையா சொல்றது. Chronological, chronicle. And Periplus of Erythraean Sea, he was an ancient, it was an ancient Greek text whose author is not known to others. Periplus means navigational guide by sailors. It was used by the sailors. Erythraean Sea, which is referred to the Red Sea, that is water around the Red Sea. It refers to the Sangam age, ports Mussoorie, Tondi, Korkai, which was used by the Cheras and the Cholas. Next comes Pliny's natural history. He is the elder man. He belongs to the Roman Empire. Pliny speaks about the pepper trade. He states of 40 days how to reach to India from the oceans near Northeast Africa. Southwest monsoon, how they have struggled in the southwest monsoon. All this we comes to know about the Pliny's natural history. Ptolemy's geography is he wrote the Atlas. He belongs to the Roman Empire. In the 2nd century, Kaveri Pumbatinam, Korkai was mentioned in this one. And Utingirian table, it's a Roman map, shows the areas of the ancient Tamilagam, port of Mussoorie. And Vienna papyrus, it was a Greek document which is used in the 2nd century, mentions about the Mussoorie trade. Papyrus, already I told papyrus, which was made from the papyrus tree, planned for the writing purpose. There was a library in Vienna, which is in Austria. It's a many written agreement traders. The name of Hermopolian list articles of export of paper, ivory, all these have used. That's all about this, girls. Thank you, girls.